Hi guys, Flood Princess here with Mommy's Downtime, episode 4. And I will be discussing the petition for elementary students to get to ride to the bus no matter where they live at. I don't, down the road, it doesn't matter. My little girl, she is 5. She will be going full day kindergarten next year. She is in pre-K currently right now. And, we have an issue getting her to school when the weather is bad. And so I know I can't be the only parent out there that doesn't have a vehicle, that doesn't have a way to get their child to school if it's raining or snowing outside. I understand some people might think I'm lazy because I want a bus to pick my daughter up. It's not that I'm lazy. I will walk her to school if it is warm outside or if it is pretty outside. But if it is snowing or raining or 32 degrees outside, I am not walking my child out in the weather. The last thing I need is a sick child, and I have 2. So when I walk my daughter to school, not only am I taking my daughter with me to school, I am taking my 3-year-old son with me to school as well. And I believe that the school system should be able to transport elementary students to and from school, no matter where they live at. I talked to the Board of Education, and Board of Education told me that I might have to take it to the State House of Representatives for Oklahoma, because they said that the funding is why they can't come and pick up my daughter, which I'm sorry. Explain to me, the school bus drives right past my school, right past my house. If I knew that bus was not going to my daughter's school, I would not have petitioned this at all. I probably would have, to be 100% honest, because I think it's crazy that because I live 0.3 miles away from the school, that my daughter's not allowed to ride the bus. And if I was to switch her schools, because there is a school 0.5 miles away from me, in the opposite direction of her school, if I was to transfer her schools, no matter what, I had to provide her transportation. Okay, which I understand because you are transferring schools for reasons, and more than likely you're out of their district. My thing is my daughter's 5 years old, and walking to school in pouring down rain or freezing ass cold weather, 32 degrees it was yesterday. I'm sorry, maybe 36. It was 32 degrees when I came home from work, and that was at 2 o'clock in the morning. I feel like the State House of Representatives need to look at the fact that students in elementary school need to have transportation no matter where they live at. They have that right for that education, so they have the right to get to and from school. And if that means you have to provide transportation for them, then I think you should. Just be a mile and a half away from the school is crazy. Because, I mean, the children that go to elementary schools are 5th grade and to pre-K, pre-K to 5th grade. And these students are young. Like, I know I'm not the only parent out here that has a young child, and they live too close to the school for the buses to pick them up. And I don't feel that is right. My daughter misses out on her education when she does not go to school because it's pouring out rain outside. And I can't take the chance of her getting sick or of my son getting sick, because when I walk my daughter to school, not only do I take her with me, I have to take my son as well, because my husband and I work 2 different shifts. If I'm off work, he's at work. And if he's at work, that means I closed the night before, which means I probably didn't get home till about 3 a.m., if not any later. It really drives me crazy that there are some people out there that just think that I'm petitioning this because I'm a lazy person. And I am by far a lazy person. I have no issue walking my daughter to and from school when the weather permits it. I have no issue walking to the store because I don't have a vehicle. I have no issue walking. I do have fibromyalgia, and so that kind of kicks my butt. But if it's pretty outside, I walk my daughter to school. If it is raining, if it is cold, I am not taking my daughter to school because I feel like there is a bus that goes directly into her school, drives right past my house every day, normally passes us when we are walking to the school, pulls into the school, and drops children off. Now, what I don't understand is how is any issue with funding if you're right past my house. All you have to do is stop. And I don't understand how they can deny elementary students transportation if they live under 1.5 miles away from the school. I live exactly 0.3 miles away from my daughter's school, and exactly 0.5 miles away from the school that I'm supposed to be. It's this way, and so it gets under my skin because I need signatures so I can take this to the State House of Representatives because I feel like I'm not the only parent out there that's wanting this. I understand that, if my daughter gets on the bus, then there's other students around here that, should deserve to get on the bus as well. Because not every parent has a car. Not every parent, not every parent has the option of having somebody pick their children up. I am originally from Indiana, so I am 800 miles away from anybody that can help me. My mom, she lives in Indiana. My father-in-law, he lives in Indiana. So grandparents are out of the way. Friends, okay, I understand carpooling, but when the students, some of the students that get there at school, they ride the bus or they are in daycare. That is another thing that kind of gets under my skin too, because I would not have to petition this if the Department of Human Services, DHS, if they would help me and my husband out. They tell us that we have to, in order for us to get help with daycare, that we have to both be on the same schedule. Now, my husband and I work at the same place, and so it's kind of hard to be put on the same schedule, especially since we do not have babysitters. I don't have anybody around here that will babysit my children because the people that I know, either they don't have kids or their kids are way older than mine. And so I feel like this is a little part of DHS too, because if DHS would help us out and help us with daycare like they do with, other parents that might not even have a job. They might just be in school. Me and my husband I work 10-hour days every day, if not longer. My husband pulls 11-hour days, if not 12-hour days. And so in order for us to get daycare, we have to be on the same schedule. But in order for us to be on the same schedule, we have to have a babysitter in order to do that. And because if my children were in daycare, my daughter would have transportation to school. Because the daycare provides transportation for students who are in school while they go to the daycare. I feel like the State House of Representatives need to take a look and maybe take a look back and think about it. Would you want your child walking in the pouring rain? Would you want to take your child in the rain or in the cold where they can get pneumonia, they can get bronchitis, they can get sick very easily because they are small children. They do go to school and germs spread. I have a huge issue with people who think I'm lazy. I understand that you might think I am a lazy person, but honestly, look at me. Do I look lazy? I'm very tiny. I am maybe 115 pounds. I walk to work every day. I walk home from work every day that I work. I walk to the store to grab groceries. I do everything by walking. My husband and I both do. So in turn, to call me lazy and say that I'm just using this as a crutch is a bunch of crock. I'm sorry, it's a bunch of BS. I am a very I'm a very, very, very energetic person. I exercise by walking because it's it's about a 5-minute car ride to my job, but about a 20 to 30-minute walk from my house to my job. So to call me lazy is completely ridiculous. I understand that there are some parents out there that are in the same situation as me that just don't want to stand up, and they think that if they try to do what I am doing, that they'll get shut down. I don't care how many times I get shut down. I will keep this going because I feel like elementary students need to be able to ride the bus to school. They're pre-kindergarten up to 5th grade. And I'm sorry, I will not let my 5th grader, nor my 4th grader, or a 3rd, 2nd, 1st, kindergarten, pre-K, I will not let them walk to school by themselves, okay? And so in turn, I have to walk with them, which is no big deal because I am a parent. That is my job. That is my duty. That is why I had my child, is to be able to do for them as my parent did, as my mom did for me. And I feel like people just don't understand why I am doing this. I am not just doing it for my child. I am doing it for all the other elementary students out there, for parents who don't have vehicles, who can't afford a vehicle, or who just want to be eco-friendly. I mean, is that such a bad thing to be eco-friendly and not have a car? Because I'm sorry, I can go either way. It can be either because I can't afford it, because I have a house, I have bills, and I have 2 children that I am feeding as well. And yes, I do get assistance from DHS, and I am grateful that I do get the assistance from DHS. But I'm sorry, when there are people that don't work, that they truly are lazy people, they can get daycare assistance, they can get help from the state and from the government, and I think that's a load of crock. I am a 25-year-old mother, married for 5 years, and I have 2 children. And I feel like in order for this to work the way that, they want it to, for me to get on my own to where I don't need any government assistance, why not help me out a little bit? It doesn't make any sense. Why would you want to not help the ones who are helping themselves and help the ones that just don't care to help themselves, that just sit on their butts and do nothing? They don't work. I'm sorry, I pull 40 hours every week. My husband pulls 40 hours every week. And I feel like we try and we try and we try, and it comes back to either we both need to be on the same schedule, or as far as the bus route, I put a call into the Department of Transportation for the schools, and I am still waiting on a phone call back from them, so I will probably be calling them first thing in the morning, because they were supposed to call me 2 days ago, and I was waiting, being patiently waiting, and I don't know, it drives me bonkers how the government is completely okay helping somebody who's not helping themselves. My husband and I have been working, he's been working at Wendy's for 2 years come November, and I've been working there a year, I believe this month, maybe next month. And so I am bettering myself. I am in a 3-bedroom house with a fenced-in backyard, and I have rent, I have gas, electric, water, I have internet, so I pay for that. And I feel like because everything is walking distance for me, because I do have bicycles and a little trailer for my children to ride in when the weather is nice, not when it's pouring down rain, because I am not putting my children outside in the pouring rain. You know how parents would yell at you, you better get inside or go get a jacket on when it's raining, because they don't want you to get sick? Now, why would I put my child out into this weather, walk her down to school in some crappy weather that my own mother wouldn't let me play outside in? I feel like everybody on the Board of Education, the State House of Representatives, everybody should look at this and think about their children. Would they want their children doing this? Would they do the same thing that I am doing to provide my child the best education possible? I have no issues with the school system. I have no issues with that. I have an issue with The bus that drives right past my house every single day cannot stop and pick up my child for school because of funding. I'm sorry, I don't believe it. It is really, really hard for me to believe. And some of you might think I'm wrong for me not being able to believe it or anything like that, but I'm pulling through with this. I will take this as high as I need to take it. And if I fail the first time, I'll get up and I'll do it again. And like I said before, if DHS would help us out with daycare, because for some reason, me and my husband working at the same job, we have to be on the same schedule. Now, for the parents out there who are in the same situation that I am, because babysitters are not cheap. They are very, very, very expensive. And so for the parents out there like me who can't afford an extra 40, 50 bucks when you need them to watch your child just so you can work with your husband so DHS will give you daycare. I'm not paying that much money for a babysitter because I don't have any family down here that I can have just come over and watch my daughter. This is me, my husband, my daughter, and my son. That is all that is here in Norman, Oklahoma. Yes, I have friends, but they work and they have other lives too, and I'm not going to sit there and depend on somebody to pick me up, to take me, when there is a bus that drives right past my house and goes right to my daughter's school, right in front of me as I am walking up to the school. The bus is dropping the students off for school. Now, I understand that I might have gone to the extreme or whatever. I really, at this point, I just want all elementary students to have a bus ride to school, no matter where they live, because this is ridiculous. I am sorry. This is crazy, crazy, crazy. I mean, my daughter's 5 years old, and you're wanting me to walk her out in the cold rain to... Sorry, guys. That's my cell phone. Let me shut it off, man. I'm sorry. Actually, that's my husband texting me. But, I mean, it blows my mind. Because it's like, they look at me like I'm the first parent to actually say something about this. And I know I can't be the first parent to say something about this. I have 34 signatures and I need 100. So I need all the help that I can get. So YouTube, please help me out. Anybody who sees this, anybody who has a child who understands what I'm going through, I'm sorry, I don't have family members that I can just call up and depend on. I don't have that. My family members, the ones that I can call up and that would help me out in this type of situation, live 800 miles away from me. And yes, I understand that is my fault. I moved out here to Oklahoma because I thought everything was better for me. The school system's better than what it was in Indiana. But as far as transportation, if I was in Indiana, this would have been solved. It would have been fixed immediately. And I understand that we are in two different states. But that's like I'm saying, I do not have a mom. I don't have my mom or my mother-in-law or my father-in-law that I can just call and say, hey, can you guys come watch the kids for me? Because I have to work with JD so we can get daycare assistance for our children because they want us on the same shift. Because if I could do that, I would have already done it. And I just feel like I need a lot of support right now, guys. And I don't care who you are. I don't care if you have a child that rides the bus or you take your child to school. Just listen, hear me out, and help me out, man. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to just for my daughter get a bus to specifically come and pick her up every day from school. That is not what I am expecting. To be honest, what I am expecting is for the school system or the Board of Education or Transportation or the State House of Representatives, hopefully one of them will see this video and help me out and understand why I am making such a big deal about it. The school bus, I think I might even stop the school bus driver and talk to him or her and see if they will pick up my daughter for school as long as I have her ready by a certain time, because honestly, that's what I would have to do back home in Indiana. I would have. I've already had. I've had the phone call from the Board of Education. I'm waiting on my phone call from the Department of Transportation for the school system, and hopefully, maybe I'll be heard, and maybe something will be changed. Because I'm sorry, no child needs to be walking in the pouring rain, especially if there is no vehicles, no carpooling around. But I just need your help. My petition's on change.org. I'll put a link below. Please help me out, guys. I'd greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thanks for listening to my rant. Have a great night, guys. Bye.